It was a throwaway line. Me battling away for 15 minutes. Top of my head. Throwaway line. I almost forgot to even mention the Astros. And all of a sudden, people want to go ask Justin Verlander about it. But first, yesterday's back on the Yankees with Aaron Boone making his debut as the manager. So I did a Yankee deal with the back. Here's what I said. They bring in Boone, who, is savvy enough, knows enough about New York, out of the broadcast booth, something a little different. You're already there a long time. I get it. They bring Boone in, and then on top of that, here comes Stanton, hit 59 home runs last year. And he put all that on the table, and the Red Sox have been sort of quiet. There's no way you can't think that the Yankees are the team to beat in the American League. That's not going to make Houston happy. All right, so I did not make Houston happy because here is Verlander, who, after I said this, why can't the Yankees be the team to beat the American League? He says, well, I can think of a reason, which is, fair. You're right. The Astros want to pump up their chest, and I said all winter that the Astros are going to be hungry to go out there and defend their championship, unlike the Cubs the year before, where they got a big hangover. Anyway, this continued. It's the first day in spring training. It's middle of February. You're not going to talk about Shaun White, so why not go out there if you're down in West Palm Beach, corner Verlander, and ask him some questions, which they did. Here's his response today.
Everybody's got to say stuff to get views or get likes or get whatever. But obviously I think we're the team to beat, but I don't really care whose opinion, especially people that don't play. Everything happens between the lines. I think the American League goes through us. Obviously, the old saying, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and I think we proved we were last year. This is a new year, bottom line. So everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think everybody in this locker room thinks that we have a championship caliber team here, and we're not resting on any laurels. I think everybody's excited to get back to work and excited for a good 2018.
Well, let's do a couple of things here as we move it along on today's pushback. And I didn't even want to go here today because to me it's a little self-serving. But we'll have some fun with it because Savino insisted. Number one, nobody will ever knock Verlander with his performance last year in the postseason or, for his career. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He deserves to go to the Hall of Fame. He is the sole reason why they beat the Yankees last year. Go look at Game 2. Go look at Game 6. So his performance last year elevated Houston to a World Series where they obviously then took advantage of Darvish and won the whole thing in 7 games. The two things I didn't like about that, I didn't say that for views or hits. I could care less. I don't pay attention to I've done radio for 30 years. I could care less about any of that nonsense. I do the show, and they don't like it. I go home and do my jigsaw puzzle. So that's the first thing. I'm not doing anything to get a little reaction for the Houston Astros. Let's get that on the table right out of the gate. And the second thing that bothers me there, you got to play now to have an opinion about who's going to win the American League? Why don't you tell that to Red Smith or look him up and see who he is? Or Dave Anderson or Dick Young or some of the all-time greats in New York who wrote forever on Major League Baseball, who gave me opinions since Damon Runyon. Go on and on and on. And there's a lot of people who are never played but are qualified to give opinions. Now listen, so now those two bother me, I gotta be honest, those two things. I love doing it, it's fun, but those two things bother me. The other thing that I gotta be fair about here too, let's call it like we see it, and I know the Astros got annoyed at me last year for saying it, because I noticed it at the World Series. He never heard A.J. Hinch, so I noticed it. Let's call it like we see it. The Astros were rattled at Yankee Stadium, all right? Everybody knows it. Everybody in New York knows it. Everybody in baseball knows it. And they're fortunate to get out of that series. And the only reason why they did is because of Verlander. He was out of this world. And he was phenomenal in Game 6 pitched with great guts. And Frazier got me out with Frazier in the 7th inning. We're going to see this here, of course, Game 2. Let's not forget that. He went all the way. His performance, it was Kovacs-like. That's how good he was. And I'm the first to admit that. But again, let's be fair here now. Let's be fair. The 3 games at Yankee Stadium, that was a rough watch. They collapsed with the bullpen in Game 4. They didn't show up in Game 3. Morton did. The rest of the team didn't. They let the Yankees back in the series in Game 3. They didn't show up. They blew a game in Game 4. In Game 5, they said, you know what? We'll go back to Houston and take our chance to win the 2 games. And they're lucky that Verlander was sitting there in Game 6, because if he wasn't, they wouldn't have won. And then Bregman made 2 great plays at the plate in the series and everything else. So the idea that somehow you pick the Yankees to win the American League pennant is not that outlandish. It's not like I went out there and picked the Twins. We did pick the Yankees. And these are the New York Yankees who came into the eyelash. To be Sox perspective than I meant it from an Astro perspective. Anyway, it's all good fun. I love the Yankee ball club. I think Stanton, I'd be worried about the chemistry, hitting this kind of player to the team. I get that. Boone, Girardi issues, I get that. I got to see Boone manage a big game before I'm going to sit there and tell me he's going to do a great job. And he's not going to manage in a big game until he gets to October. And hopefully he doesn't have to call Brian Cashman in the 5th inning to find out if he can take a pitcher out and bring the bullpen in. That's neither you nor there at the moment. I just want to get that shot in so the Yankees get mad. Bottom line is, right now, you can make a very fair case that the Yankees are the team to beat in the American League. And I understand they got a good buddy there, Garrett Cole. Everybody, you cannot love Bregman and Altuve and Correa and Gurriel. I mean, and Springer. We know how good that team is. Don't get me wrong. And I do think they're going to be hungry. Unlike the Cubs, I think they're going to be around to go. And, you know, Verlander, Keiko, and Cole's pretty good. Morton, we all know. We know McCullers. We get it. But if you want to pick the Yankees to win the American League pennant in 2018, you can do that fairly without having played a second or looking for views. Okay? I didn't do that, so MLB Network will put up there on the dopey website. I can care less. I can care less after 30-something years. I'm not interested. I can go home right now to the jigsaw puzzle, read about Winston Churchill, and play tennis. I don't need. But, you know what? You want to have a little fun? This is high heat. We'll have a little fun. That's where we begin on a busy afternoon. And truth be told, the guy who knows the Yankees are going to win, who can't stand Houston, is shy. Now, he's going to play politically correct here and try to take the pressure off the Yankees. And that was one of the reasons why I picked the Yankees to win it. I want to put the pressure on them and put them in an all-or-nothing situation where if they collapse, I can say, how in the world they fired Girardi? Which is what I had a theme in November anyway. So that's part of my deal is the Yankees, not Houston. But anyway, you want to think of them from a Houston standpoint, go right ahead. He knows that the Yankees are the team that beat the American League, and he will pick them in 3 weeks, correct?
Probably not, but I would like to start my take on things first by thanking Justin Verlander and thank him for his patronage, because we love all our viewers here on High Heat, both of them. And it was good of him to chime in there and basically.
And he is going to the Hall of Fame. Let's put that on the menu right out of the gate. Let's never take anything away how great he is.
I just think the whole diatribe there was in part wishing you a happy Valentine's Day. I think you might be taking it a little too hard there. And I also think part of that, as he kind of expounded on your sentiments, was a message to everybody else in that locker room. You know what? This is not a free year, okay? I think he was kind of trying to tell everybody that, you know,
fair point. Maybe he did.
We're the team to beat.
Right.
We're motivated. We're ready to get after it again. And you'll speak to the general manager. Maybe you'll talk on those things, you know, a little bit later. And by the way, also, good job by you kissing off the Twins and the Yankees. We got the Astros back in the fold, but in your opening remarks, we'll never hear from the Yankees and Twins again. So I think that Justin, you know, used that medium, as obviously thousands before him have, to send the message to everybody in the locker room, hey, let's go and get after it again. And look at his, you know, career. Listen, if he was a little angry, I don't think I took it that way, maybe not to the extent that you did, but, you know, coming off what happened with him in Detroit in 06, and then again in 2012, where he had his ups and downs in the postseason, I think he relishes the head being uneasy, wearing the crown, you know, after taking his lumps into two postseasons. I think all that played into his remarks yesterday, as far as you know, what you said.
And you're right. You know, Sandoval hit the homers against him, and obviously in 06 they had issues with the throwing the ball around the mat. You know,
he got beat up in Game 1 of that series too,
and he had trouble in Game 5. So I understand that, but you know, he made up for it because he is the reason why the Astros beat the Yankees last year. There's no other reason. And that's why that trade was a brilliant move by the owner and everything else when they made that trade in late August. Now, the Pirates never did that, and that's the knock on the Pirates. The Pirates, when they had that great team there, you know, 3-4 years ago with McCutchen and Cole and everything else, they did not bring this kind of guy in to give them a better chance to win a championship, and Houston did. And Verlander is the reason why they're wearing that ring. That's all there is to it. Good job, lots to still do. Dave Parker, let's do this. This is good today. With the theme we've been on.